Another thing that I found extremely helpful for me is take detoxing, doing extra things for detox with zeolite clay. And I use I'm going to say this right away, that I'm using a liquid formulation that has been cleaned. And that's, for me, that's very important, because the issue that we're facing now is that because our environment is contaminated, the clays can be contaminated as well. And clay, the zeolite clay, is technically a silicate. In any event, it comes from nature. It's very widely available out there. So this is not a scarce resource. It's very widely available out there, but it can be contaminated. So you want to look for a formulation that is actually cleaned. It's packaged in glass, and I found one. I will just say right away that my favorite brand is PBX Zeo. Touchstone Essentials. They're not. No one is paying me to say this. I'm just telling you that I've been taking this product for 10 months now, and it works, and I feel pretty good that it's a clean product. Now, why do I use it? It binds to the bad stuff, but not only does it bind to it, but it kind of puts it in this molecular cage. And what's important for me about that is that there are lots of things you can try to do to detox, but a lot of them, what they do is they take the bad substance, the toxic chemical, and they pull it out of some area of your body, such as your liver, and then it gets dumped into your bloodstream, or it gets dumped into your intestines, and it gets reabsorbed and repoisons you. Okay, so this is why a lot of people who start to take some herbs and stuff and for detox, they feel worse. Okay, it's probably not because you're having some sort of a Herxheimer reaction, blah blah. It's probably because you're repoisoning yourself by moving toxins out of one area of your body into another and then reabsorbing them. I mean, that is unfortunately the reality. So you can still do those things, but I would suggest do them very, very mildly, and take a lot of vitamins, and take a lot of eat a lot of foods with fiber to help absorb those things. You can also bring things to the next level, which for me was a big difference, is to use the zeolite clay. So what it does, it starts to pull things out. It's got it has priorities. So it loves mercury. So when I started taking it, right away, it started pulling mercury out from my gums and teeth, because I used to have a lot of mercury fillings and got them all taken out at once, which led to poisoning and led to those things settling in the tissue, the mercury. And I knew, because it has a tendency to make you feel like when it's pulling things out of an area of your body, you feel discomfort. You almost feel like, for that part and for some other things that happen, it was almost like somebody had been hitting me in that area. And there's a way to take Zeo. I actually wrote a blog article about it. It's on my website, sensitivecanary.com or joannamoore.com. You can search for that. But you want to take it in the same way that you take the vitamins. We take smaller amounts throughout the course of the day. If you are having a lot of discomfort or symptoms, you actually want to take more of it, because what's happening is it's loosening things in your body and grabbing them and putting in molecular chains. But sometimes things are stuck to one another. So it might grab something and kind of put it in a cage and start moving toward elimination, but it loosened up a bunch of other stuff. And so you might sometimes need to take more zeolite, more vitamins. Some people take glutathione. This is a little bit advanced there, but I do talk about it in my article, to help take care of that other stuff that got loosened. And so slowly and surely you can help detox with zeolite clay. Again, I said that I've been on it for 10 months. I've definitely seen a lot of positive changes. Unfortunately for me, the pandemic has been difficult for me because of the amount of fragrance, cleaning products, and disinfectants that are being used around in grocery stores, on food. So that's been a higher burden that I've had to deal with, but I think that zeolite has also helped me sort of ride this time frame with that. And again, as I mentioned, PFAS is a real issue that I need to filter my water, and so those are things that the zeolite is helping with, but it's also helping with things that have been in the body for a very long time. Those toxic chemicals, again, they're displacing things in your body. So it's very well known, for example, that one of the chemicals that displaces calcium in bones is cadmium. That has been known for decades, and that's associated with smoking. So people who smoke chronically are more likely to develop osteoporosis or bone loss, because the cadmium that is in the cigarettes is displacing the bones. But this is a very common sort of thing that's happening with chemicals, is that they're displacing things in your body that should be there. And so in taking them out, you're giving your body more room to absorb and take in the nutrients that it needs, the minerals, the vitamins. And that is your road to healing. You want a body that's got everything that it needs in place and has the time and space to heal. Okay, so that's the zeolite clay. Another thing that I've been using that has really worked well for me is the infrared light therapy. These are anything from saunas to red light bulbs. You need to wear protective eyewear for that. They help detox your body, and they also help reduce inflammation. Martin Paul, who's also on this conference, has done a lot of research into those benefits of saunas, especially for people with chronic fatigue type conditions, that the benefits of reducing inflammation as well as the detox. My choice, I use Platinum LED. That's a brand of a panel. They're not paying me to say this. I just happen to like it. I don't have it here in the room, but it's a panel about this big. I can get pretty close to it if I have an area that I want to work on, or I can be pretty far away if I want to work on a big chunk of my body. But if I can, I do it for short stints, 5 minutes every single day, and especially areas that are bothering me. And that helps a lot. Please do not do the thyroid gland. Please do not do the ovaries or the testes, but you can do any other area of your body. And there's a lot of information on the web about that as well. Grounding the body. So another thing that is very, very helpful. I know that probably some of these concepts are like, whoa, this is so far out for me. So our body is used to sort of our body is an organism, and this is, human beings, animals, everything is used to being in contact with the earth. The earth has an electromagnetic field that sort of offsets the electromagnetic fields coming from the sky, from the sun, from radiation from outer space. We also have introduced a lot of the radiation into our world with cell phones, with Wi-Fi, with smart technologies, whatnot, even electricity. And having that connection to the ground is very important for our body to help our body sync in terms of that electromagnetic frequency that it considers to be normal and supportive of healing and good health. The way you can do that is to connect the soil. You just take off, when it's summer, the weather's warm, take off your shoes, walk around barefoot. You can touch trees and rocks with your hands. Even if you just do it for a few moments, your body in that instant, it's just a measured benefit to your nervous system, to your body as a whole. So do that kind of stuff. I even did it in winter every morning when I waited until my metabolism was at its highest, when I felt the warmest. I would just take off my shoes and socks. I'd put on warm clothes, step outside, and just stand there for, even if it was 30 seconds. And I could definitely feel the benefits. Over time, I ended up going with a grounding bed panel. Because I have chemical sensitivity, I had to look very hard for one that worked for me. Dr. Laura Conover, again, she's not paying me, has one that's made out of hemp and then has steel, and kind of a very soft woven steel mesh that's sewn onto it, as well as steel frames into the hemp fabric. And you literally attach that to a grounding wire that goes into the grounding part of your outlet. And I find it helps. It just helps my body have the support it needs to heal. It's kind of in that natural state.